Welcome back to the Ultra Reviewer, where we discuss all things Ultraman. If you haven't already, do check out my videos on the Ultraman Gaia and Ultraman Nexus series and why these two shows were one of the best in the franchise. In today's video, I want to touch on the three generations of Ultraman: the Showa Era, the Heisei Era, and the new generation Ultraman. So who are they and what are the things that differentiate them? Now let's get right to it. Let's talk about the Showa Era first. Now the Showa Era of Ultraman are the first generation of Ultraman. Their suits consist mostly of red and white colors, and there are no mode changes, meaning the default mode of the Ultraman, which he or she appears in, is the only mode that the Ultraman can battle in, and they are mostly from the same planet. Now what does this mean? In the Ultraman universe, there is a planet known as Nebula M78, which is also known as the planet of the Ultras, where most of the Showa Era Ultraman come from. Also, some of the Heisei Era and New Generation Ultraman are from this planet as well. In this planet, all the inhabitants are the race of Ultraman. I'll place a link under the description of a video that explains more about the planet Ultra. Now, who are the Ultramen that consists of this era? I'll try to touch on most of the Ultramen, but I am sure I'll miss out some. Now, to begin with, we'll start with the first Ultraman. Moving on to Zoffy, Ultra 7, Ultraman Jack, Ultraman Ace, Ultraman Taro, Leo, Astra, and AT. Now these are the main Ultramen, and I know I've missed out a few, but just for general knowledge of the Ultraman universe, these are the most important that you will need to know. Now moving on to the Heisei Era of Ultras. These Ultras are the second generation of Ultraman, and there are more colors on their suits, like purple and blue. While the red and white are still there are more colors to add some flavor into the costumes of the Ultraman. The next important thing to know is that these Ultraman have multiple modes. Their multiple modes have different functions, and not all Ultramans have the same type of modes. For instance, Ultraman Tiga and Ultraman Dyna have a red mode that increases their strength but reduces their speed, and a purple or blue mode that enhances their speed but reduces their strength. Whereas for Ultraman Cosmos, his Corona mode is made more to battle violent creatures that are influenced but not to kill them. But his Eclipse mode is for full-on battle. And there are many other modes that the Heisei Era use depending on different type of battles. But in a nutshell, the Heisei Era of Ultras are the first generation of Ultramen that started using multiple modes in battles, which is the thing that makes them stand out compared to both the generations. In terms of origins, most of the Heisei Era Ultras are from different home planets, most of which we don't actually know. And something that makes them stand out is also this, seeing that almost all the Ultramen from the Showa Era of Ultras are from Nebula M78. Whereas in the Heisei Era of Ultras, most of them are from different home planets. Now, who are the Ultramen that consist of the Heisei Era of Ultras? We have Tiga, Dyna, Gaia, Agul, Cosmos, Justice, Nexus, Max, Xenon, Mabius, Hikari, and Ultraman Zero. Again, I probably missed out a few Ultramen, but these are the main ones to know.
Arigatou, minna. 俺たちのために。
水臭いぜ。同じウルトラマンだな。
Finally, the new generation Ultraman. This generation of Ultraman have more variety of colors in their suits. While red and silver is still there, the presence of other colors seem to be more dominant in some of them. For instance, Ultraman Orb has a signature black color on his suit, just like Ultraman Victory does. And Ultraman X seems to have a lot more grey. So the new generation of Ultraman seem to not take up too much of the red and white as most of the Showa Era and half of the Heisei Era of Ultraman did. Now, when it comes to the multiple modes of new generation Ultraman, they all seem to have the ability to use the power of the Ultraman before them, which include the Showa and Heisei Era of Ultras, which seems to also be the signature of the new generation Ultraman. They also have demonstrated the ability to use the abilities of other monsters. So it seems there are multiple modes, although not necessarily dependent on the Ultras before them, have also shown that they have a strong ability to absorb the power of other Ultramen and make that another mode within themselves. A very good example is Ultraman Ginga when he had the ability to use the powers of the 6 Ultra Brothers. Now, while he is not the first, it does show that he went into another mode when doing so, which also has been demonstrated by the other Ultras of the new generation. Now, moving on to the home planets, similar to the Heisei Era, most of them are from different home planets, some of which we do not know, and some of them are from Nebula M78. Now, to wrap up the video, who are the new generation of Ultraman? We have Ginga, Victory, X, Orb, Geet, Ultraman R and B. Well, that's it for today, guys. If you have any feedback or any requests, do write them down in the comments. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.